Hello. Let me know if you can hear me. I've dragged my Wi-Fi extender closer to my PC, so we'll see if that helps. Because I realized what was happening, right, is I had my Wi-Fi receiver plugged into the front of my PC, and every time I would plug in my microphone, it would like cause some kind of conflict, I think. And that's why I would have connection issues that way. So I've plugged it into the back of the PC, which isn't as quick a USB slot, but it means there aren't any like conflicts with the front USB things. I don't know. This is just my guess. But hello everyone. Hello to Mr. Satampra, Kevin Riley, Monster Slurpee, Tridale, HJ Fires, Blunt Man, Dana is here, Grease. Oh, Gias. I thought that said Grease. Gias, Rail Fan Titan, Robbie Hughes, Adam Fishking, Da Boy, and let me see, did I miss anyone? Let me scroll up a bit. I think that's everyone that's here right now. Did the stream die already? No, it should be okay. It looks like it's okay right now. Let me know if it's like giving me issues. Because as usual, as you guys know, that's just like my lot in life. Let me turn on my screen while we're busy. Still alive? Okay, cool. Let me transition the screen. There we go. We are doing a free stream today, but I actually saw... I think we'll be able to do 2 streams next month, because I saw somebody say that now that we're out of the Velma Torment Nexus, if somebody's like, yeah, I'm cool with your Patreon now, because we're done with Velma. The Velma boss has been slain, so I'm cool. So hopefully 2 streams next month, but this is our free stream for the month. So we are working on a comic I have planned out. I don't know who follows me where. I posted a comic to Tumblr and Twitter, which is this one, and this took me like a week. I was so annoyed at how long this took me. So this is, I think, yeah, this is page 1, and then page 2 is in here as well. So if I like turn everything off here, turn it off, 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 turn it off. Where's the background? There we go. And then I turn on page 2. Let me check what's everything. Page 2, page 2, page 2. I think, yeah, page 2. Okay, that glow doesn't need to be on. Page 2, page 2, page 2, I believe. Yeah, so this is part 2 in here, and I posted this to Twitter and Tumblr. And I think last I checked on Tumblr, it's at like 28,000 notes. And on Twitter, what the hell are the stats on Twitter for this thing? Let me just double check. On Twitter, it is sitting at 13,000 likes and 1.5k reblogs. I think that's good. I don't really know how Twitter works, to be honest. So I'm basically doing another one, and this one was 2 pages and it took me like a week. This one, which I planned out today, is like 4 pages, more like 3.5. But let me just close this because it's so big. It's such a big file. No, don't save. But this is what I'm working on today. So I've done the written dialogue for Grace, and I've done it for Rocky, and I've done all the planning for the thumbnails, and I've done it for all the pages. But I think what we can do today is I can either start drawing on page 1, or you guys can chill while I like set up page 2, because I don't have any of the panels like drawn out for page 2 yet. I don't have any of the dialogue, but I think we'll just do drawing, because if I'm typing text, I can't really type and talk at the same time. It's like how I can't read and listen at the same time. Like something in my brain just can't do the 2 things at once. So I think we'll just probably stick to drawing today. So let me just set up my layers here. So we'll make this Grace, and we must also drag in references. Where is my reference folder? Otherwise, I rewatched the entirety of The Amazing Digital Circus, because that is going to be the next video topic, but I'm not going to do it like I did Velma and My Adventures with Superman and all that. I'm not going on it with an episode by episode basis. Let me just drag this in quick. I'm not going to do it on an episode by episode basis. I am basically going to do a character breakdown of the character writing for each character, and kind of just discuss how the characters, oops, that's move, I don't need to rotate, how the characters are designed like visually, but also like how they're written and how their writing kind of informs the characters and all that, because I think the writing in The Amazing Digital Circus for the characters is really, really, really good. It's really strong. There are some things it stumbles on, but as a whole, it's a really, really well-written show. And from what I've seen, as you guys know, if you follow me, I don't really watch videos on topics that I plan to cover, because I don't want somebody else's opinion to start influencing my own, in that I don't want to hear something somebody else says and then I end up liking it so much that I internalize it, and then I just kind of repeat it as if it's my own opinion. And I'm always worried about that kind of thing, because that does happen sometimes, where I will have a thought about something, but I haven't really articulated it in my head yet. So then I hear somebody else kind of just put it into words a little bit better than how I would have, and then I just kind of repeat what they've said, because that is what I think, but I just haven't articulated it as well. So I avoid watching other videos. But a lot of Amazing Digital Circus thumbnails have been going past my YouTube home. And from what I can see, the vast majority of videos that have just passed me based on their thumbnails seem to be focused on talking about the show exclusively in terms of... Oh, there we go. It dropped my connection again. Let me give it a sec. Wait for it to come back. There we go. So the vast majority of videos that come past me on YouTube and stuff, they seem to only really talk about the show in terms of like the fan base and like the fan backlash and like the reaction to the finale, etc., etc. And I don't really see anyone actually talking about the show content. Like, I only see people really making videos about the reaction to the show, and like, oh, this is, I don't even want to say I've seen videos with people like, oh, Amazing Digital Circus episode 9 ending explained. Like, I'm not even seeing really videos like that. I'm primarily seeing videos just talking about like fan nonsense. And that seems to be the majority talking point, and I'm like, is nobody really going to talk about the characters and the plot and how the plot informs the characters and like anything that happens in the show itself? Are we just going to talk about fandom nonsense? And it's really frustrating, especially as somebody, I did not watch the show from its inception. I watched the pilot when the pilot came out, and I said, wow, that looks cool. And then I didn't look into it at all. And then I watched all of it once episode 8 came out. So I basically binged the entire show for the first time like 2 months ago. And then I watched the finale. So I'm not like somebody who's been like clued in on the fan base and following along with what the talking points are and keeping up with whatever the fandom interpretation is of what this means, what that means. I haven't been in touch with any of that except for like seeing discourse float past my blog on Tumblr that I don't really know what people are talking about, so I don't read it. So I just see, oh, people are arguing about something that happened in an episode, okay. And then it drifts by me. So I am not somebody who has any real idea what the vast majority of drama and consent, or whatever the word, not consent, dissent, that's the word I'm looking for, dissent amongst the fans even are. So it's very, thank you, Avita. It's very, very strange to see that apparently that's all people on YouTube actually want to talk about. It's crazy. Hi, Dust, here to try and make you play mixtape, preferably live. I'm sorry, but your suffering is just entertaining and informative. Thank you. I don't know if I will. I haven't even watched any Let's Plays of it at all. I just know it's terrible, and I know that it includes The Touch by Stan Bush, and apparently they completely squander that song in the game. And I'm like, I don't need to know anything else about your game. If you don't know how to properly implement The Touch into your game when you get the rights to use that song, there's something wrong with you. I don't understand how you can even do that. You like waste one of the best 80s cheese anthems of all time, and you just like apparently play it randomly during a scene where it's completely unconnected. Like why would you do that? That's the only real thing I know about the game, is that they completely ruin The Touch by using it terribly. Let's see what chat's saying. All I know about TADC is that Ragatha looks just like Molly from Bump in the Night. I know, she does. Actually, okay, here, let me show you guys. I downloaded Obsidian, and I'm learning how to use it properly. Let me just, no, is that, yes, that's correct. Sure, transition there. So I downloaded Obsidian, right, just to kind of help me with script writing, and I've got it set up like this at the moment. And if you look, here are my notes on Ragatha, and if you scroll down, I actually make a comment that I wonder if she's based on Molly Coddle. That's literally in my notes, where I'm like, huh, she really reminds me of Molly Coddle. Like she really reminds me of Molly Coddle. Not so much in personality. I think Molly Coddle is a little bit more stable as a person, but at least in physical design, she really makes me think of Molly Coddle. And I was like, I wonder if I'm like the only person alive who remembers Bump in the Night. Let me just set up my screens here. Just hide display capture and go back to Clips in the Paint capture. There we go. Where are you guys? There you are. Auto translate. Sorry. That's an extra level of suffering. You'd make her play through the suffering. Yeah. I just finished Velma. Yeah, it's true. Like from what I understand, Mixtape is very much Velma 2.0. It's very much the same kind of dialogue. From what people like were showing me, I haven't watched the full Let's Play of it yet, but it also kind of looks like, it makes me think of Yick a lot. I don't know what it is, but something about the way the dialogue is structured, but it really makes me think of Yick. Okay, so for Grace's face in this scene, sorry, let me just focus on this quick, otherwise I'm just going to be drawing ghost lines all the time. Do I want to give him like proper, okay, I don't have it open anymore. Do I want to give him like a proper facial structure, or do I want to go with this? Here we go. Let's open this here. So I'm just trying to decide for the very first panel. Oops. Yeah, for the very first panel in this comic. For this panel here, do I want to go with like the more detailed, or do I want to kind of just simplify him down? I think he's close enough that I don't want to simplify him. I'm not sure. Actually, yeah, we'll just do him detailed. It's fine. They had the balls to put the touch in the donkey's anus of a game and get the torches and pitchforks. They apparently have, and I checked the music credits, and yeah, the touch is in there. And I asked my friend, like, where do they use it? And she's like, apparently they just, I think it's Dana who told me, they just like randomly play it in the background. It's basically, from what I understand, the same way that the Mario Galaxy movie used Gusty Galaxy, where if you haven't seen the Mario Galaxy movie, they play Gusty Galaxy in the background when the characters are just at the airport. And it's just like a song playing over the speakers at the airport. Oh, wait, let me just put the song on loop. I forgot to do that. And that is the only time that Gusty Galaxy shows up in the Mario Galaxy movie. And from what I understand, that's basically how they use the touch in Mixtape, where it just kind of plays in a scene and it doesn't really have anything to do with anything. And that's it. That's like it. Where did I get the Rocky 3D model? I got it from the official Project Hail Mary site. Let me just, I'll show you. So I've got this model of him, which is super useful because he's so difficult to draw. Holy shit. And it helps because it's actually got the indentations of like all his markings. I do have notes as to his detailed markings, but it just helps like the back leg here, which can sometimes be a little tricky to figure out. Also his back leg, it's right here. It's strange here. I think it's supposed to be here, isn't it? I might get that wrong. But anyway, the back leg isn't like dead center on his back here. The back leg is actually like attached as a third leg on the back here, rather than just being at the back like a tail. So that's pretty interesting as well. And it just kind of gives me a better idea of his structure. And I was really struggling with his torso because in the movie, you basically only focus on this top half, and this bottom half here is mostly obscured by his legs. So you don't really focus on it a lot, and it makes it very difficult to draw because there's a lot going on here. There's the ridges, there's the vents here, which he uses to breathe. And you kind of need to keep track of where all that stuff is when you draw him, because it's a lot. There's just a lot going on there. I was gonna ask you about the Galaxy movie since I saw your Letterboxd review. Yeah, it's just awful stuff. Absolutely terrible. Yeah, they play it in the background when they play baseball. Not even a real game of baseball. Just them practicing hitting a ball with pitching machine. The crack of the bat hitting every time they say touch. Oh, that's the touch. That's so bad. That's so terrible. Like, the touch is legitimately... I know it's like the Transformers thing, right? Like, the touch is so embedded in the Transformers fandom, as it should be, because obviously it's from the original Transformers movie. But even if you remove it from the context of Transformers, it is just a good song. And I mean, I love 80s cheese, so I'm very biased here, I'm aware. But if you are a fan of 80s cheese, it is like one of the best examples. Basically anything Stan Bush did in the 80s is fantastic. It's like him and Frank Stallone. Frank Stallone has some really good songs from like 80s movies as well, if you like that really cheesy 80s. Like almost a precursor to power metal. It's not really power metal, but it's not that far off from power metal either. That's Stan Bush. It's really good. How many times have you seen Project Hail Mary so far? I still need to. I've seen it twice. I saw it twice in theaters. I do have the digital copy, which, you know, I acquired as soon as it was released digitally. It is available for pre-order on Blu-ray. So I'm going to order the Blu-ray from the US once I have the cash to do so. I'm hoping they put out like a special edition, like a really nice box set with a lot of stuff, because I really want that as well. And there is a deluxe edition of the book coming out on the 1st of December, so I want to get that as well. I haven't read the book yet. I own the book. I I completely by coincidence bought it 3 years ago for my birthday, and I haven't gotten to it yet because I saw it was the same author as The Martian. And yeah, so the book has just been sitting on my bookcase, me unknowingly leaving it there, not aware of the fact that this is gonna like change my life but when I finally go see the movie. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yes, so The Amazing Digital Circus. So I have a bit of a dilemma with talking about it, which not a big one, but like a good enough dilemma, I think. Okay, let me just focus on this. Because Grace has very strange shaped eyes. He's got a downward droop to his eyes, which I'm not super used to drawing. It's an eye shape that I don't really do, so I'm still kind of trying to figure out how to do it, but kind of like this. Yeah. And then what you do is you add, yes, okay, there we go. So my dilemma is, right, I am going to talk about the characters of The Amazing Digital Circus. I'm not going to do like a full episode by episode breakdown. I'm just going to focus on the characters and the character writing. However, the main characters of the show are Pomni and Jax, which Goose herself has said that that's her intention. Her intention is for those to be the two main characters. And the problem is, I have a little bit to say about Pomni because she does have things to talk about, but Pomni is basically just the audience insert character. She's not super complex. And Jax has so much going on with him that I'm stuck where I feel like my original idea was to talk about each character individually. And if I do that, each character will have a section in the video, and I'll do Jax last. And then Jax, I have so much to say. That's going to be like half the video is just going to be me talking about Jax, right? And then you have the problem where people are like, oh, this is a video meant to be about all the characters and you spent the vast majority of it talking about Jax. So the other option is to make a video and actually have it just focus on Jax, but then also kind of talk about the other characters, but then people will have the problem of like, this is supposed to be a video focusing on Jax and you're talking about the other characters so much. So I'm a little bit unsure how I want to structure the video, because regardless of what I do, there is going to be a large focus on Jax just because there's so much going on there. And from what I've heard through the grapevine, a lot of people don't seem to actually get Jax. Like they don't seem to really understand his character. I've even seen people like say Jax is not supposed to be trans, and I'm like, what do you mean? Explain to me how you came to that conclusion that this is not a overtly trans character, because that is insane to me. I don't understand how you can watch the show, watch the finale, and then be like, no, that he's not meant to be a trans character. You're reading too much into it. And I'm like, how literally how? And part of me just wonders, maybe it's like when I was 22 and I watched Revolutionary Girl Utena for the first time, and 22-year-old idiot me didn't realize that Utena and Anthe were supposed to be lesbians. Like 22-year-old me watched the entire anime, and like somehow I did not interpret the fact that this is supposed to be two lesbian characters until I like went online. So I don't know, maybe it's that, maybe it's just like the inability to understand the visual language of what's going on. But yeah, the people who are like, no, Jax isn't supposed to be a trans woman, that is literal insanity to me. Hey, Diamond Lock Productions, it's going good so far. Jax is like such a good written character. He eclipses the others unfairly so. Yeah, it's difficult as well because a lot of characters like Gangle, for instance, are really well written, but they're also kind of written specifically to be mirrors to Jax. Like a lot of Gangle's character is wrapped up in being a reflection of Jax himself. So even when I talk about other characters, I'm also still going to be talking about Jax to a certain degree. Historians will say they were very good friends. Yeah, exactly. I need to watch The Amazing Digital Circus. The ADHD Zoomer humor put me off, but I might find a diamond in the rough. and I've sit through worse. It's genuinely a good show. The millennial humor I found very funny, but mostly because there's a lot of absurdist humor in it, which I really like, and the joke timing is very, very strong. I know what you mean when you say millennial humor, but further on into the show, it's more absurdist humor than it is millennial humor, I would say. There's a little bit of that, but it's mostly insanity more than it actually is like, well, that just happened. Like, there's not a lot of that really. I read that one. See, what else did I scroll past? See what chat's saying. Oh, you're talking about Bump in the Night? It's an old claymation TV show from the 90s about a monster who lives under a little girl's bed and gets into shenanigans with the toys and other monsters. Yeah, like, I am legitimately curious whether Bump in the Night was at all an influence on the Digital Circus, just because of Mollycoddle. However, I do acknowledge that there's only so many ways you can really interpret a rag doll as a character, right? If you're going for like the classic Raggedy Ann design, there's only so many ways you can do that. Let's check. Yeah, that's good. There's only so many ways you can do that because, you know, if you stray from it too far, it stops being a Raggedy Ann design and it stops being the ragdoll design. So there's only so much you can do, and I acknowledge that. But at the same time, there's just enough overlap for me to wonder whether Mollycoddle was actually at all an inspiration. And it just feels like the kind of very bizarre TV show that not a lot of people remember, which might have influenced the show just because it's kind of off kilter in the same way. So I am curious about that. So I'll mention it, but I'm not going to like make a hard claim that obviously this was inspired by Bump in the Night, because I don't know. And I'm not going to bother Goose about that because I think Goose is so flooded with asks and things, and people like asking her about the show and what certain things mean. It's not like important really to a point. It's just interesting to me. I haven't seen TADC yet. I just found out it's a glitch show. I still believe that SMG4 evolved into glitch. It gives me a lot of hope among the eldritch horror that is the 2020s internet. I think Glitch is probably having a bit of a meltdown in terms of like, oh shit, our flagship cartoon is over. We have to get a new flagship show. I think they're probably really, really scared about that. But they've got Guinevere in the chamber, which I think they're probably going to set Guinevere up as the next big show, even though I don't think Guinevere so far is really that good. It's got a lot of pacing problems, which is my main issue with it. So we'll see. A pilot is a pilot, and a pilot's very, very difficult to write and get your like idea and themes and stuff across. So I'm willing to give it grace, but I do feel like Guinevere has a lot of pacing problems in its pilot, which is surprising to me because it's made by Dana Terrace, I believe. I'm bad with names, but I do believe that's her name. And I just don't understand how your pacing is this badly put together when you are like a industry veteran. That's very, very strange to me. So I'm just gonna drink my Pepsi. The millennial humor is he's right behind, it's right behind me, isn't it? There's actually that exact joke in the show, and I'm going to spoil it just because it made me laugh so hard. There's a point in the show where the characters have that set up, and then a character sneaks up behind them, or he's like standing in a doorway and they don't realize it, and he's about to hit them. And just as they realize that he's there, the character standing behind them goes, "I'm right behind you, aren't I?" And then he hits them. And it made me laugh really, really hard because it's so stupid. It's like such a stupid joke. It's exactly my kind of humor where it's just dumb. It's just really, really stupid. It's just, there's no other word for it. Didn't Glitch buy Lackadaisy, or am I misremembering? I believe they've just signed on Lackadaisy, yeah. Lackadaisy is also pretty good. I have a lot of faith in Lackadaisy. I mean, I've been a fan of the Lackadaisy comics since the DeviantArt days. I've got one of the physical comics on my shelf here next to me, which I bought at Comic-Con a few years ago. Just check if I've got his facial proportions right. He looks a little young, but it's quite zoomed out, so I think it's okay. But yeah, Lackadaisy, that'll probably go quite well for them as well, because Lackadaisy also has like a built-in fan base, so I think that will be good for them. But I do think they are in a position where they need to really, really find, I don't want to say a replacement, but I mean like a replacement in a business way, if that makes sense. Where you've got your big flagship show, and now the big flagship show is finished. You need something else to kind of fill that void, just in terms of like filling up those finances that's left by that show. Kinger, yeah. Yes, I'm right behind you, aren't I? It's such a good joke. And that's what I mean, like, I understand what you mean by millennial humor, but it's not exactly millennial humor. It's absurdist stupidity humor, and that's why I like it, because it's just, there's no real I don't want to say that it's not clever, because it is clever, but it's the kind of clever where it seems really stupid. It's not stupid in the lol so random way. It's stupid in the, you have to be really clever to be able to write something this dumb. Like, that's what it is. You have to be really clever to write something this idiotic. Kind of like the meme where people were imagining movies if they were written by Joss Whedon. Oh, there goes my connection again. Let's wait for it to come back. Sorry about that. I'll hit save while we wait for that. There we go. It's back again. Oh, I did name it. Okay. Yeah. I don't think it really has the Joss Whedon humor, because the whole thing about the Joss Whedon humor style tends to be that the millennial humor writing, or Marvel writing, or whatever you want to call it, is there to cushion away any form of sincerity. Like, that's what it is. It exists to like misdirect sincerity, so that anything that comes across that might be considered too vulnerable or too like a real emotion is very quickly undercut by a joke. It's the opposite of what Kung Fu Panda does, where Kung Fu Panda does the thing where it sets up a joke and then it undercuts it with a real heartfelt moment. Marvel humor is when you have a real heartfelt moment and then you undercut it with a joke and you completely kill any real emotion that might be in the scene. And I don't think that's what The Amazing Digital Circus does at all. I think when it does that, it's very purposefully trying to cut a sentimental moment, but when it wants to really focus on the sentimentality, it does so extremely well. And that's why I don't think it really counts as millennial humor. I think it is written with a lot of sincere intent. And I think that might be also why some people have problems with its writing, not so much in the quality, but they don't like the way it's written, because it's not a big production written by a corporation to please as many people as possible. It is an auteur project written by a singular person who had a very, very specific vision and a very, very specific way they wanted to write these characters and the setting. And she stuck with it. Sorry, my connection dropped again, so I'm hoping it comes back. And it's back. It's doing that thing where it flips from excellent quality to losing connection. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but as long as I'm still here for you guys will yell at me if the connection completely dies. It'll probably buffer here and there, but the connection shouldn't completely die. If it does, I'll just restart the stream. But yes, I feel that what makes it not fully the whole millennial humor thing is that there is a lot of sincerity and there is a lot of heart and like honest discussion about really difficult topics, which Marvel could never. A lot of jokes in TADC remind me of early SpongeBob a lot, just that absurdity. Yeah, but it's very much like early SpongeBob, where it's just really, really silly. I hate Pudding Dead. Nice model. Thank you. My friend drew it for me, and I really, really like it. I'm really happy she made it for me, because she did make me a VTube model for practice, but I just never could get it working on my machine because the setup is a little tricky. But she also made me this PNG tuber model, and I really like her a lot. She's really, really nice. Would we agree that the crossroads into Gen Z humor was the horrible slow murder with the extremely inefficient weapon? I don't know that, but that does sound like the most internet titled show of all time. There goes the connection again. Why are you doing this? Like, what is your problem? Again, sorry guys, just let me know if the connection dies. That's all I care about. That's all I really care about at this point. Yeah, it's an auteur show written for weirdo LGBT community in the early 20s. Like, that much is clear to me. Yeah, like, it was never meant to be a broad appeal show, like, at all. That was never the intent with the show, and you can see it with the way it's written. And as a result, a lot of people who are only used to cartoons which are written to please the larger majority, they don't really know what to make of it, it feels like, because the show does things that you don't really do in corporate cartoons where you try and please as many people as humanly possible. It takes a lot of risks. It talks about a lot of things which you will never ever see talked about in cartoons, and it does so in a way where it's coming from a place where you can tell the author is writing from experience, whether that's personal experience of herself or experience of people she knew or knows. You can tell a lot of it is that. And the thing is, if you write something from personal experience, you're not going to write a character with a trope where that character handles that trope and that, like, that setting of what's happening with the perfect decorum, right? That character is not going to handle it the best way. They are going to make mistakes. They are going to say things which are problematic. Hashtag. I did not draw this thigh big enough. Hold on. And they're going to make mistakes, and they're going to screw up and all of that. And I think a lot of people are upset with that because the characters are responding to things like a real person would, rather than an idealized, perfect written representation would respond to things. And a lot of people seem very, very upset with that because they're like, why is this character doing this? This is like really shitty behavior. It's like, yes, because it's written from a place of honesty. It's written from a place where these things have been experienced by the writers, and they know what kind of shitty reactions have been expressed by them or their friends or people they know or whatever. Like, you can tell, this isn't written to be like the idealized best version of how you react to these things. This is written with the perspective of, this is how a real human being would react to these things. And oftentimes that isn't clean, that isn't nice, that isn't like, oh, why didn't they do it this way? If they had done it this way, then there wouldn't be any problems. It's like, because this character is written to operate like a real person. They're not written to operate as a character you can look up to or a good role model. I think that's my least favorite thing at the moment is characters which are written with the pure intent to be good role models. And I saw somebody talk about this where they're like, but why though? Why does this character have to be a good role model? Why can't they just be an interesting character? It's like, I'm not interested in the character being a good role model. I'm interested in the character being interesting. And I think that's where a lot of people like they trip up on The Amazing Digital Circus, because these characters are not written to be role models or characters you look up to or characters that you can feel reacted to this in the optimum way. These characters are written in a way to be honest and interesting, and that's it. What else? I might have to refresh chat because my connection is being silly. Let's do that. Was suspecting my own Wi-Fi of lag, but yeah, it tends to go 15 seconds behind. Yeah, it's probably me. Don't worry about that. I'll just be a little bit behind with responding to chat, that's all. I was AFK working on some things, but going back to the Jax trans thing, I just had the strong feeling of him being a more classic broken kid that pushed and bullied people away due to brokenness, and the extra hints thrown in were either teasing him or similar. So when it was he's actually trans, just didn't sit right for me for some reason. I've thought about it and agree, but I don't know. A bit difficult to articulate thoughts at the moment. No worries. I was pretty much convinced that Jax was trans from episode 4. And for reference, there's 9 episodes if people are unaware. And by episode 4, there's already like massive hints that that is indeed what's going on. And the thing is, right, I didn't like the idea of him being trans. I did not like that idea because I just sat through High Guardian Spice. I just sat through Snapdragon. And the thing about Snapdragon is, Snapdragon was such an interesting character. And then at the end of the show, it's like, oh, by the way, Snapdragon, the reason you have all these issues is because you're trans. And then Snapdragon goes, oh, wow, that was the problem. And then all those problems that Snapdragon had instantly disappeared. Like the second Snapdragon was like, oh, I'm trans? Oh, and then all my problems went away. It's like, if you've ever seen LB the Racist Dragon, there's, at the end of the LB the Racist Dragon song, there's a part where they just go, and then LB wasn't racist anymore. Like it's just turned off. And that's kind of how it goes with Snapdragon, where she finds out she's a trans girl, and then all the problems that she experienced went away. So when there were hints being dropped that Jax is probably trans, I'm like, oh no. Are they going to do the thing where everything that's wrong with Jax is magically resolved once he accepts the fact that he is trans? And I didn't really like the interpretation that he was trans. And the more I watched, I think it was up till episode 6, and I was like, God damn it, he is. Like, I don't like the interpretation, but no, he is. It's not even interpretation, it's just text. He is 100% supposed to be trans. And so even as somebody who disliked the interpretation, I'm like, no, he is. I don't like it, and he is. It's basically that. Yeah, that clip Dana is putting, well, not clip, but the quote that Dana is putting in chat of Caraway going, I'm transgender. I'm going to reference that so many times in the Amazing Digital Circus video, because I'm going to be like, the people saying that Jax isn't trans when they watch the finale, what did you want the show to do to make that clear to you? And then I'm just going to play the clip of Caraway going, I'm transgender, because everybody made fun of that, but very, very obviously, that's what a lot of people wanted with the Amazing Digital Circus, because the show could not have made the subtext any clearer. It's not even subtext, it's just text. And there are still people denying it. And I'm like, what do you mean you're denying it? But at least people like denying it means I have so many ideas for jokes in the video. And I'm not going to make the entire video like a fan response. That's exactly what I don't want to do. But I just have so many ideas of really, really funny ways to just be like, what did you want the show to do to make it clearer? Like, I have so many ideas for good jokes that I am going to address that just because it's funny. If it's funny, I'll do it. And that's kind of how I approach a lot of things in my video. If I think it's funny, I'll include it, even if it's not like a big deal or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but if I make this joke about it, it could be really, really funny. Somehow High Guardian Spice is returned. Yeah, pretty much. It's amazing. Like, High Guardian Spice is such a bad show, and yet however many years later since I made that video, I can still use High Guardian Spice as a reference, or like as a point of reference to all these other things I'm talking about, because it's just so useful as an example. Like, it continues to be useful. I don't know how they did that. Maybe if I manage to keep doing YouTube for like 10 years or whatever, which I'm old enough where that 10 years doesn't really feel like that long a time. But if I do YouTube for like 10 years or 15 years or whatever, maybe I'll do like an anniversary where we rewatch High Guardian Spice, and I like reassess it or something, just because, yeah, somehow High Guardian Spice continues to be relevant. I don't know how they did that. It's a terrible, terrible show, and yet somehow it just keeps being like, you know what this reminds me of? High Guardian Spice. We're going to get to a point where younger people are going to be like, what the hell is High Guardian Spice? So do you think Zubul knew Jax was transcoded? It seems like she was very transcoded to me with her body dysmorphia. Zubul 1000% knows, and I have it written into my notes. Again, this is why I'm a little concerned that the video might become too Jax heavy, because all the other characters also kind of tie into Jax. But I rewatched the entire show yesterday. I like literally sat down and watched it from episode 1 all the way until the finale. That's literally all I did yesterday. In episode, which one is it? Let me just double check the number here. Episode 5. In episode 5, Jax is like making a lot of comments about Zubal's gender and the fact that Zubal is very, very obviously gay. Zubal is non-binary. Zubal is gender non-conforming. I believe Goose said that Zubal uses all pronouns. I'll probably use they, them in the video, but it's fine to use she. But in that episode, Jax makes a lot of veiled homophobic remarks towards Zubal. There's a part where Zubal mentions, oh, I used to work in a bar, and Jax starts laughing and he's like, of course you did. And then later in the episode, Zubal's like, yeah, I was also a tattoo artist for a while. And then Jax just bursts out laughing. And it's funny to me because that was pretty much my reaction as well. I was like, of course Zubal worked in a bar and a tattoo parlor. Of course she did. But he's being like veiled transphobic towards Zubal throughout the entire episode. And at some point in the episode, Zubal just has enough. And she's like, okay, we're going to play this game. I can play this game too. And she's the one who votes to put Jax into a maid outfit. Like, she's the one who's like, okay, you want to go there? Fine, let's go there. Maid costume. And the second she does that, Jax backs off and like stops giving her issues. And like just backs off and is like, okay, he just stops making any kind of comments about her being non-binary or gay or queer or any of those things. He just drops it. And I'm like, yeah, no, Zubal knows. Zubal is extremely aware. She just doesn't bring it up because she's like, that's his issue, not mine. And I don't really like him. So I don't really want to like talk to him about it because A, he's super hostile about it, and B, I just don't really like him. So why would I discuss it with him, really? She tries later on when things start getting very bad, but she doesn't really want to go through it with him because, again, she's not really focused on him. She is way more interested in focusing on Gangle, and she's just whatever with Jax because, again, she doesn't really like him. Hey, Leon. I hope you realize Velma can probably pop up in the same way. Yeah, but Velma is such a product of Mindy Kaling's ego, I suppose, that Velma kind of only really becomes relevant in terms of talking about like egocentric projects like that, whereas High Guardian Spice is more a product of like bad writing. So when bad writing, especially with like amateur projects, comes up, High Guardian Spice is just a much better point of reference because it is also an amateur project that's like a singular vision of Ray Rodriguez. High Guardian Spice was crap, but at least people cared enough to try to save it. Yeah, like High Guardian Spice isn't malicious. It did have one very malicious writer as part of its staff, but I never really got the feeling that High Guardian Spice was outright trying to be malicious. I just think it didn't know what it was doing. And I think that's why it's such an interesting show and why to this day there are people who kind of want to try and rewrite it so that it doesn't suck or try to fix the setting or the characters to kind of work better as to what the original idea was. Because you can probably do that because it isn't like Velma where it's this horrible ego project that just there's no saving it. High Guardian Spice is just, it's an amateur project written badly. And it's just written, and you don't often see like an amateur project meet it all the way to like, sorry, something flew into my mouth. You don't really get to an amateur project like that reaching it all the way to production. It's usually things you'll see on like YouTube and things. So that's why it's interesting. Sleep of High Guardian Spice watch through sounds like an amazing time. It would honestly be very fun. I still have like good memories about High Guardian Spice. I can't say that about like My Adventures with Superman, which is a better show, but I don't really enjoy watching My Adventures with Superman. It's not really a fun watch. It's just kind of draining. And obviously Velma is infuriating and there's nothing fun about it. But High Guardian Spice, there's like, I have like fond memories of some of the characters. Where I'm like, Amaryllis, I remember Amaryllis, and like, Snapdragon, yeah, Snapdragon really deserved better. There's like really interesting things to say to this day, like, I have fond memories of that show, even though it was absolutely terrible. And I can't really say that about the other two, which I think it's worth, that's worth something, right? Lots of people don't pick up on the homophobic insults, and I'm like, how? Yeah, I mean, maybe some people are just kind of young. That's all I can really nail it down to. We're switching back to the Amazing Digital Circus, by the way. Sorry, I'm jumping topics so quickly. Leon says, I haven't been able to watch your streams for a year since I refused to get a TV license, but I'm away from home today. Looks like the production value has gone up, like the layout and avatar. Well, thank you for hanging out again. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, my friend gave me an avatar and I bought some stream assets so that I can just kind of give you guys a nice experience, because I do actually care about entertaining the audience. That hand is very small. Let me just double. Okay, the thumb is on the right side. I might need to grab an allergy pill. I've got like a really, really small gnat flying around, and I think it's sat on my nose, and I keep scratching my nose, and I'm like, really irritating it. So I think I just want to grab an anti-allergy. Just give me a sec. I just need to like run to the other side of the room quickly. Okay, I'm back. Hello. Seapath and Gareth sitting in a tree. Who's Gareth? You mean from like the labyrinth? What are you talking about? Sage was malicious, but aside from that, it was a Tumblr Ask blog with budget. You know what? A Tumblr Ask blog with a budget is literally the best way to describe that show. That is literally it. And a big problem is that is also the way that Rodriguez ran that show. And you can't do that. Animation is a job. It's a job. It's a career that you're supposed to take seriously. You can't just treat it as this thing where you and your buddies are going to sit on the Discord call all day drawing. That's not what animation is. Animation is a job. It's got a hierarchy within the studio. You've got supervisors. You've got superiors that you listen to and that you don't argue with. You do your job. You do it to the best of your ability. You do it within deadline. You do not sit and chat with the other animators, you know. The time of day to work is spent working. You can't run it like a Tumblr Ask blog, and I think that's that's like a mistake I see a lot of people make online. Apparently there was somebody who was working as an animator on Hazbin Hotel, where that was their complaint once they left, is where they essentially just thought they were going to sit on a Discord call with Vivzy all day and draw, and then they were very upset when they actually got hired and found out, oh, it's like a real job where I'm expected to work. So part of me is still wondering if High Guardian Spice will ever get a season 2. I know that's been a few years now, but I feel like anything's possible at this point. Maybe, I don't know. It would all depend on whether or not somebody is willing to pick it up. That's essentially, oops, wrong layer. That's what it boils down to. Whether somebody thinks it's worth the financial risk to pick up the show. And I don't see like a traditional TV station or a cable station doing that. Maybe somebody like Glitch might for the lols or something, but I'm not sure. Am I correct in assuming you didn't like the Super Mario Galaxy movie? I kind of just scrubbed through it, quite honestly, and it looked so bad. It's such a draining experience. You know what I mean? Hey, she's gone. No, don't do something while I'm gone. Don't do that. Monster Slurpee says. Next day, oh, you guys are just talking about the art stream. Yeah, a lot of people found my channel through High Guardian Spice. Again, it's weird because it's not a good show, but I have a lot of fond memories for it. And I do kind of think, oh, thank you, Avina. I do think of it fondly as like this very bad show. That it's got something to it. Like, you can't deny that. Thank you, Indigo. My Adventures with Superman waited until season 2 to give us Kara. High Guardian Spice gave us Snap and Am in episode 2. Yeah, that is true. Although I will say, I saw the screenshots of Kara when I was doing my Adventures with Superman. Such a hard title to say quickly. I saw the art for Kara while I was doing the first season, and immediately they dressed Kara exactly like Android 18 from Dragon Ball Z, and I was like, oh god, you people, you don't learn. You just do the same thing over and over again because you get like kudos for it. You get like praise on Twitter for copying anime, and that's what it is. Like, I was discussing this with a friend of mine who also works in the industry. It's still plagiarism even if the person who is doing it is someone you like. It can't be plagiarism when High Guardian Spice does it, but then if My Adventures with Superman does it, it's fine. Like, they're both doing the same thing. You can't say, well, we like this one, so it's okay when they do the exact same thing. It's like, no, it's plagiarism regardless. It's just what it is. I think the big problem I have with High Guardian Spice is that it seems like most of the budget went to overpaying the writers and artists to lounge around all day. It's basically an adult daycare. Yeah, again, it was basically, from what I understand, they were paid to hang out in Discord and draw and like support each other's art. And again, that's not what the animation industry is. It's a very grueling, very professional setup where you do as you're told, basically. You listen to your superior and you do what your superior tells you, and you do it within the time frame your superior gives you. And you update your spreadsheets, you update your naming, your file names. You make sure that, oh, there goes my connection. You make sure that you keep everything within the same naming conventions. You make sure that you've rendered it out correctly. You make sure that you are doing your admin in the folders correctly. You have to keep track of all these things. It's a lot of administration, and it's a lot of communication back and forth between you and the rest of the team and your superiors. It's not sitting on a Discord all day drawing. It's a job. Oh, thank you again, Indigo Cozy. Thank you. It's really, really kind of you. Season 3 of My Adventures with Superman is worse. They ripped off Trunks as Superboy and Broly as Bizarro. Yeah, that doesn't shock me. That doesn't shock me at all. Of course they did. Like, what do we expect them to do at this point? Am I in the right layer? What am I doing? Okay, I'm in the right layer. We like anime. We like anime. Did you know we like anime? I saw a Tumblr post that was like, I want to become an animator so that I can live in the highest cost of living city in the country so that I can be paid to animate an Akira bike slide reference for Cartoon Network. And it's like, yeah. I did say I like Mars. Never said it was good. Yeah, it's fine to be like, I like it, but it's bad. I mean, there are bad things that I like as well. But whenever I say that, I have a hard time thinking of an example of something that's terrible that I like, because automatically I'm like, no, well, I have excellent taste and everything that I like is amazing. But I know that's not true. It's just the terrible things I like, I feel like I'm very, very aware that they're terrible. And the reason I like them is because they're terrible. It's not because I think they're actually good. I'm trying to think of an example. I know there is one. Again, my connection is dropping here because it's being stupid. I'll wait for it to come back in a sec. While I wait for my anti-allergy pill to kick in, because whatever gnat, there we go. Whatever gnat was flying around me this evening has really set me off. It's really irritating. Okay, there we go. We're back. My question is, where does plagiarism begin and end? When an anime like Neon Genesis Evangelion copies Thunderbirds shot for the scene where the Evers are launched, is that bad? See, that's the big problem with, I say plagiarism, it's probably a strong word. It's one of those things you have to take it on a case-by-case basis. And unfortunately, that's very difficult because, I don't want to give him the Leon Kennedy here. It's very difficult to do that because we want there to be like a rule that we can reference as like, okay, if you do this, it's plagiarism. If you don't do this, you're fine. And unfortunately, that's just not the way you can judge certain shows. It is something you have to do on a case-by-case basis, which is annoying. But it really is the only way to really be able to look at certain shows, which is annoying. And there's also like being aware of what the genre of show is, because like nobody in their right mind is going to look at anything Family Guy does and say this is plagiarism, because it's a parody cartoon. The entire show is based on making fun and referencing other things. That's the entire point of the genre. And same with The Simpsons, right? When The Simpsons makes a reference, you're not going to sit there and call them plagiarists for it, because that's just stupid. But again, if you have something with like My Adventures with Superman, and you have a character like Supergirl, and you dress her exactly like Android 18 for no reason other than you want the audience to go, hey, she's dressed like Android 18 because you really like Android 18. Like what are we doing? What are we doing here? Anybody actually watch Supergirl? I've heard mixed to negative things about it. I wrote off the Supergirl movie when I was at the theaters because I saw the poster for it, and on the poster the tagline is something like truth, justice, and whatever. You know, it's like one of those like, I don't care about anything, truth, justice, and whatever. And I'm like, oh, so you're just going to be an insufferable bitch. Okay, I'm not going to watch this movie then, fuck it. So that's as far as I got with the Supergirl movie, because I saw that and I knew exactly what kind of character they were trying to write. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested, bye. And then I never looked into it again. I think there's an amount of goodwill with copying. Josie and Moz has used up all of her goodwill. Her team has copied too much over her career. That's the thing, right? Because I've spoken about this before, but somebody pointed this out. And let me just open a new page here, because this file is so big. I think if I copy something into it, it's going to crash. But one very insane thing of copying is this, and I never noticed that it's literally a copy until somebody pointed it out to me. And it's like, okay, well, this is such blatant copying, and apparently none of us noticed, but now that we have, is that actually a problem? Come on, internet, you can do it. Let me just find this image that I'm looking for. Oh, come on, DuckDuckGo. Why are you doing this to me? If DuckDuckGo is going to give me so much problem, I might actually just switch to Google for a sec. I mean, this will be fine. Use this. And the other one is this one. If I grab this image, I know you guys can't see it. I'll get back to you in a sec. So you've got. Okay, this is a terrible image, but you've got Cloud, right, in his original PS1 outfit here. And then somebody pointed this out. If the image will load, because my internet's being very stupid. Close this, close this. Are you gonna load? Are you gonna load, or are you just gonna hang there? Let me open through Google, maybe that'll go better. Yeah, see, Google works better. I don't know what DuckDuckGo's issue is. Okay, so you've got Cloud over here, and his entire character design is literally just Gohan from the Cell Saga. Like, it's literally Gohan. There's like no confusion. There's no ambiguity. It's literally just Gohan. Like, like Cloud is literally just Gohan with the Dragon Slayer from Berserk. Like, that's all that Cloud's character is. He's Gohan with Guts' Dragon Slayer. And that's the character. And it doesn't bother me, and it might just be hypocritical as to why it doesn't bother me, because, you know, Final Fantasy has been around since I was a child. So I'm like so used to it by this point. So it's like, Is that why? Is it like a hypocritical reason where I've just gotten so used to seeing Cloud as Cloud, and I don't think of him as being like a direct copy of Gohan, so it doesn't bother me, in which case it's not okay just because I'm like desensitized to Cloud's character design. Like is this okay? And I don't know. For me, it feels okay, but again, that's just because of nostalgia and how long Final Fantasy has been around and all of that. And when I look at Cloud, I don't automatically think of Gohan, right? I might be aware that it's influenced by Gohan's design, but I don't look at Cloud and immediately think, oh, that's Gohan, right? So I don't know. It's very difficult, and that's why I say you kind of need to judge it on a case-by-case basis, which is annoying, because it would be so much easier if we could just all have like one rule that we can refer to as to where the line is in terms of this is plagiarism and this is okay. But we don't, so we just kind of have to deal with it. Where is a good... Yeah, I think this one is okay. I just want to check how it is his hair here, because his hair is really tricky. And if I get his hair wrong, he's gonna look like Leon Kennedy, and that's not the look I'm going for. It's really annoying because his hair is so weird. Okay, so it does have like a little bit of fluff here, and then it curls up here, and then it kind of... Yeah, there we go. That's too fluffy. Okay, so it doesn't fluff out. It does this. Okay, more or less like that. I think that's okay. Put in the reference of Leonardo DiCaprio whistling at the TV. Yeah, exactly. Gotta be honest, I think biases and nostalgia are one hell of a drug. It really is. And like I said, with Cloud, it's difficult. But at least, like, if you look at the remake Cloud's outfit, it has been changed enough, and there's enough details where I do feel like it's visually distinct from Gohan, and I think that might also be why it doesn't bother me too much, because I'm using the sprite as the reference specifically, because in the renders he doesn't really look like Gohan, because Cloud's outfit in the renders original, it's got enough details to it where it doesn't really read as Gohan. Just wait for this. It's mainly the sprite. Copy image, bring you guys back, go here, no, not here, go here. Like, this doesn't really read as Gohan to me. It's a little bit there. You could say, oh, this is obviously inspired by Gohan, but because it's got a lot of other things going on here, you've got like the more military look to it, you've got the gumboots, the waist is different, you've got the suspenders for... I believe this is what he hooks his guns to. I'm not entirely sure. There is enough distinction there where it looks like an inspiration, but it doesn't look like you've just literally like dressed him as Gohan. You know what I mean? So again, it's really difficult, and I will admit that in that one case, it is a big bias on my front, just because I'm so used to seeing Cloud and what he's dressed at and what he looks like. I'm not even like a giant Final Fantasy VII fan. My brother is. My brother really likes Final Fantasy VII. But I can't say that I'm a massive fan or anything. And I'm just like, yeah, I feel like that's okay, even though if this had come out today and it was this level of obvious copying, I would have lost my mind. So yeah, nostalgia and bias, it is a factor. Let's not pretend it's not. It probably also helps that Cloud's character doesn't read Gohan either, so it can be easier to handwave him as appearances based off Gohan. He's just not a copy deal. Yeah, that's the other thing, and I think that's really what it boils down to, is the thing that's doing the copying good on its own merits? And I do think if Cloud looked nothing like Gohan, he would still be a really, really interesting and good character. He's not like stealing what made Gohan an interesting character and like using it to prop himself up. Cloud is a really fascinating character that's written very, very interestingly. Even if he looked nothing like Gohan, that would still be there. I think I made this part a little bit too high. There we go. So it is easier to forgive it. But yeah, like you said, Eva referencing Thunderbirds, that's also interesting because it is very specific. And Arno's work is actually a good argument in terms of like how far is too far when it comes to references, because so much of Eva is also based on Ultraman. Like there is so much Ultraman in Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's like actually unreal. Pretty much the entire opening of the original Ultraman is at least referenced in the opening of Evangelion. Okay, so I've got Grace. His proportions might be a little bit off because I'm talking while I'm drawing, but it should be okay. I'll fix him later, but let's get Rocky. His stance is like really wide here. He doesn't really stand that wide-legged because this is meant to be 3D printed. That's why he looks like that. So they've kind of really spread out his limbs to give him balance. Whereas the puppet, I think the puppet is balanced better. It has to be because it has to move around, right? And the puppet is actually, it stands a lot taller. Let me see what I got for references for him. I mean, I've got this video. I can probably just, no, but it's got to open. Okay, I'll open it in QuickTime because if I open it with VLC, it's going to cancel out the music. Open it with QuickTime. No, don't make QuickTime the default. And then I'll just make this window smaller if I can. I can. Why is this window so big? Just rotate it. I know you guys can't see it. I'm just pulling up reference here. Use this, use this, use this. Okay, yeah, so his stance is quite tall. His stance, he does not stand wide-legged like this. So this is primarily for the 3D printing, and I should not use this as a reference for what he looks like when he stands. That is just something I need to be aware of for future. Why? There we go. Okay, so now I can make it smaller. There we go. Okay. Now it's smaller. Now I can see what I'm doing. It's the same thing that makes everything peace with a capital T go. Cinema is dead. All content is corporate. Actually, no. There's quality indie films in plain sight. Stop being morons. Yeah, that's true. Like, I think I mentioned this before, but I stopped going to the movies after like 2017 because there was just nothing I wanted to watch. And lately I've been going to the actual theater more and more, which is annoying because the closest theater is in the next town over. But I just came back from watching The Backrooms. I haven't even mentioned that yet. I watched The Backrooms earlier this week. And while I was watching that, there were other things I saw where I'm like, oh, I would actually like to see that. And it's been a very, very long time since that's been a thing where there were things coming out I actually wanted to see. And yeah, there's a lot of indie stuff that's coming out. Backrooms is really good, by the way. Speaking of indie stuff, Backrooms is really, really good, and I actually highly recommend it. However, I did see, or at least I was told, that there were a lot of people, primarily on TikTok, complaining that it's very boring and that nothing happens in it. That is not an inaccurate review of the movie. That is 100% true. It is very slow and very little happens in it. But the thing is, if you vibe with that, it's really, really good. I also remember reading a manga not too long ago called Osanana Najimi, where they make a reference to Peanuts when a character says good grief and it's drawn like a Peanuts character for one panel. Yeah, but that's just a joke. That's like when in FLCL, they just become South Park for like one scene. And it's really funny. And he's just in the salon, and while he's talking on his phone, it's like all serious Gainax animation style. But then when he turns to the hairdresser on how he wants his eyebrows fashioned, it turns into South Park just for that scene, and it's really stupid for no reason. You were saying it's just, it doesn't read as go ahead. Yeah. But yes, Backrooms, super interesting. Highly recommend. I have a light understanding of what the lore of the Backrooms is. And I was thinking, okay, well now Kane has like an entire movie. He's going to kind of expand a little bit on things like async and async's role in the larger story and what they're trying to achieve and blah blah blah. And no, they didn't do that. They literally didn't do any of that. All they did was take what was already a really good Backrooms like YouTube video, like what Kane would do in a YouTube video, and they just made it on the budget of the movie. That's all they did, and I think that's the smartest thing you could do. Just check, where does this rock? Okay, so it splits there, and it splits there, which means I've got this too wide. Yeah, so kind of like that. Kind of like that. He is so hard to draw. He drives me crazy. I don't know why. He has to be so difficult. He is literally just like a trapezoid, but here we are. I still need to watch the Backrooms, although I still got spoiled for the main monster of the film. I'm not spoiling it for the rest of you guys, though. The thing is, that is a very small part of the movie. The monster, I wouldn't even really call as part of the movie. I mean, it is, but it's more a set piece that is in the movie rather than being the movie, if that makes sense. It's like something that happens in the movie. I'm trying to think of like a comparison. He's a little off balance here. I'm gonna have to tilt him a little bit, because it's not like you've got Jaws, right? And the shark in Jaws is the main monster of Jaws. But in the Backrooms, the main monster isn't like Jaws, where, oh, this is the thing that the entire Backrooms is revolving around. The monster that you're referring to is more like, it's more like you have Jurassic Park, right? And in the middle of Jurassic Park, you have a set piece where for a while they have to dodge the velociraptors in the kitchen. That kitchen scene is super iconic, but that is not what the entire movie is. That is just a set piece of the larger movie. Even though, yes, we do see the raptors again and we see them multiple times, we don't think of Jurassic Park and we think, oh yeah, that's the movie about the velociraptors. And that's kind of how the monster in the Backrooms is as well. He's not the main monster of the Backrooms. He is a set piece within a larger production of the Backrooms. See, I'm drawing him slightly leaning to the left, and I don't know why I'm doing that. Maybe I'm not sitting on my chair straight enough or something, which might be because I'm leaning over to read chat at the same time. I have zero understanding of the Backrooms lore, and I enjoyed it. The Backrooms lore is very vague at this point, and I do like that rather than using the movie as an opportunity to finally explain a lot of things about the Backrooms, Kane was just like, no, we're not explaining anything. But this is just basically the same as the YouTube video, but higher budget. Deal with it. And I think that's the best way to deal with a Backrooms movie, rather than using it to be like the definitive version of the story. It's just like, oh, here are very similar visuals that you've been seeing up until now, but movie budget. And it was really smart, and I think it really paid off, even though I saw people complaining that nothing happens in the movie. And I'm like, yeah, but also a lot happens in the movie. Maybe the real Backrooms was the friends we made along the way, pretty much. Let me just check if I made Rocky big enough. Yes, I did. See, so I've got his basic shape down. Now I can just fill in the details a little bit. But I mean, he is kind of zoomed out in this panel. I don't want to be too crazy with the details, but still, I find that with Rocky, you do kind of have to accentuate some of the details just to make it more obvious it's him. I saw an amazing piece of art on Tumblr that simplified him down to literally the most simplistic shapes you can possibly imagine. Let me see if I can grab that quickly, because I believe it's still at the top of my drafts. Because I was so enamored with it, I want to give it a proper tag, which is why I haven't reblogged it yet. Just grab that quickly. Where are you? Not you, not you. Here we go. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. Look at this shit. Oh, it's so amazing. Okay, just hide cloud. Look at this. Look how good that is. Holy shit. I'm so in love with this. This is so. Look at this one. Look at this one. He's got his forearm here, the body here, and then the forearm here, and then he's got the back leg here, back. It's so good. It's so good. Like, this is the kind of shit that I wish I could do. Like, I legitimately, he's on his back here. I wish I could simplify a character like this asshole down to just this level of flow and simplicity. Oh, it's so good. I love it so much. Amazing. Jurassic Park was one of the first films I ever saw in the cinema. I was too young to watch it in cinemas, but it did like come again on cinema a few years ago. I think I was in my very late 20s, so I did manage to see it in theaters. It just wasn't like the first run, you know. I saw it in theaters on a rerun as an adult. It was really fun. If you can watch Jurassic Park in theaters, I highly recommend it. That looks like a scrap design for BMO from Andor. Every time I see your avatar, his hair gets shorter, starting to look like the crazy wine. Oh no! This avatar is close to what my hair is at the moment. My avatar that I draw for my videos is closer to what my hair is when it starts growing out. The level of fluff of my avatar in my videos is really not that far of an exaggeration. It really, really isn't. That's pretty much exactly what it looks like when the humidity is high enough. So we got that. So here, this goes in and gives the little ridge here. And then, okay, the image I'm using, he doesn't have as many cracks anymore because they simplified that for me. And he's got a scar here. And then here, it goes out and then down, and he's got like slight there. It's got things here. Bring this out. There we go. And then you've got the vents over here and on the side. There we go. More or less like that. Like I said, he's so hard to draw. He drives me crazy. CPuff, is your hair naturally curly? It is. It is super curly. It doesn't it's not like coils, but I do have on my left side, there's a curl in the front that literally turns into a ringlet after I've showered and washed my hair. It literally naturally just does the full coil, like Judy from Utena. Like it's literally what it does. And I don't do anything to my hair. I literally just shampoo and conditioner it, and it just kind of does its own thing. Which I'm fortunate in that sense, but yeah, this is just what it looks like. The monster of Backrooms isn't something you can see. Instead, it's something other people can see, and you're the one who has to deal with the consequences. I don't know. No, I think it is more literal than that. It's just the Backrooms is more based on vibes than it is the concept of, ooh, big scary monster that's going to chase you. And I think that's also why a lot of younger people struggled with it, because there's so many like derivative Backrooms content, like games and SCP stuff, which does basically just boil down to signal, like, what's that guy's head, like the big loudspeaker monster, like just him chasing you through the Backrooms. That's what a lot of kids think of when they think of the Backrooms, whereas that's not what the original concept of the setting is. It's very much the location. It's not the big spooky monster inside the location. So the fact that the movie focuses on the location and not so much on the big spooky monster inside of it, I think it threw a lot of those people off who were just kind of expecting a more traditional monster in the house story, whereas this, it's basically that meme of the Twilight Zone of I forget the man's name, the man who started the Twilight Zone, and the meme is just his face and he goes, damn, did you see that shit? Anyway, I'm Rod Sterling. That's Siren Head, thank you. That's basically what the Backrooms is. It's like, wow, that was crazy, huh? Anyway, the end. In the Andor art book, it is explained that much of the initial concept art for B2 was based on the idea of him being like a bulldog, aka Spike the bulldog from Tom and Jerry shorts. Oh, that makes sense, yeah. Yeah, Rocky's stance is very gorilla-like because his knuckles are like this, where his fingers point to the front like this, and his thumb is on the opposite side curling over. So Rocky actually walks on his knuckles, like a gorilla does. However, his limbs are actually on ball joints, I'm pretty sure, because if you watch him in the movie, he can rotate this limb pretty much all the way around so that this forelimb can curl upward like this. So I think he has a lot more mobility to him than we would with our arms, which is great because sometimes when I pose him, I borderline break his limbs just because to try and get the pose right. There's no way to really get the arm in that position without essentially breaking it. However, if you structure your panel and your composition correctly, the people looking at the image won't know. Oh, been meaning to tell you, Seapuff, went to a con a couple of weeks ago and met Tom Cook, the one from Filmation. Got a signed animation cell of Hordak from him. Still need to get a picture frame for it. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. I didn't have any Filmation cells. I've got a cell of Samurai Pizza Cats that I'm looking at from here against my wall. I've got 2 Utena cells in my passageway. I've got 1 Sailor Moon cell in the passageway, and I've got a cell, but it's not from production. It's like a character cell to see what the character would look like on celluloid, of Betty Boop from the Cinderella movie. Not like the one from the 30s or anything. I think it's like from the 80s or something. Okay, that is a good Rocky. So I can kind of move on. Oh, I can add the speech bubble for Grace now that I know where he's standing. Let's turn this there, here, balloon tail. Okay, so how do I... Okay, let's go here. Here we go. Lock this again, otherwise I'll start drawing on it, which I don't want to do. Here we go. And this is Rocky, so we'll make... No, not orange. We'll make this... Where's the brown I was using? Here we go. We'll just make these brown so that I know what this layer is, because I could tell from the first comic I did that colors for your layers just help so much to keep track of what everything is. Okay, here we'll do Rocky again in this panel, because this is a quite extreme pose for Grace, so I kind of want to focus properly when I draw it, because if I chat and try and draw it at the same time, I'm gonna have a very hard time with it, because turns out talking and drawing at the same time is a little tricky. Actually, let me just change the red in this layer so that I have a better idea of what is what. Turn this off. So now I can tell, okay, this is an under sketch and that's the over sketch. There we go, that's better. Luckily here he's not in too different a pose. I'm trying to decide, do I want to copy him? No, I'll draw him again from scratch, it's fine. And like I said previously, my big first introduction to the Backrooms was a fan fiction of 682 SCP getting sent to the Backrooms. Yeah, like, and I think that was a lot of people's exposure to the Backrooms was kind of through SCP stuff, which is fair enough, but that is not really what the lore of the Backrooms is. And unfortunately, I think that kind of bred expectation for a lot of people going into the movie, where the SCPs and the SCP Foundation and the Backrooms don't really have anything to do with each other. People just kind of like blaming them together. But in terms of canon, they don't really coexist in the same universe at all. And Async, the company in the Backrooms, it's not the same kind of company as the SCP Foundation. Because the SCP Foundation, although it is primarily focused on protection, I mean, it's in the name, right? Secure, protect, contain. But Async in the Backrooms is more like this company who inadvertently found the Backrooms, thought, okay, how can we use this? Like this is amazing. We have all this insanity, like free space to do literally anything we want with. And then they realized they fucked up by trying to do anything with the Backrooms. And then Async, as it exists in the lore at the moment, is basically just them trying to fix the mistake they made, because I recall back in the day, Kane said that his idea for the Backrooms and Async was he was tired of so many of these horror stories boiling down to, oh, government agency evil, oh, corporation evil. So he wanted to write a story where the agency, government agency or corporate agency or whatever it is, just kind of screwed up and made a mistake. And the setting is them trying to correct that mistake and just fix their screw up. And I kind of like that because it's refreshing. I don't mind the whole evil corporation story, but it does get stale after a while. So I do enjoy that what Kane is trying to do is a story where it's like, no, they're just kind of incompetent and they made a mistake and now they're trying to stop the mistake from spiraling out of control. Just see what chat is saying. Knowing nothing of the Backrooms, I was on the same level as Mary, where I didn't even know if the people she was talking to were real. I believe they're real. I know that Kane has a interview with Wendigoon up, or Wendigoon has an interview with Kane up, is probably a better way to say it. But I haven't watched it yet, but I think I will, because I am interested to hear what Kane has to say about the movie and like how he feels it came together and such, because I think that would be quite interesting. I just didn't watch it when it came out because it's kind of annoying. I understand why, but it's kind of annoying where the Backrooms movie comes out and then all these channels who make like spooky content are all like talking about it all at the once. And Wendigoon is like, by the way, I got an interview with Kane Pixels about the Backrooms. And I'm like, of course you did, right? I don't know. It's such an innocuous thing to be annoyed about. Oh, my tab crashed. It's such an innocuous thing to be annoyed about. And yet it really, really annoys me because I don't know. Am I still live? Because it tells me I'm not. Yes, I'm still live. Okay, cool. It's such an innocuous thing to be annoyed about, but it does kind of feel, I don't know. It feels a bit like a money grab, even though that's not what it is. It's Wendigoon, like, in his way, promoting the movie and giving Kane Pixels like a platform to talk about his thought process behind it and all of that. But it is kind of annoying and it feels a little calculated to see a video like that come out just as the movie does. I don't know, it's difficult to explain. It might just be that Wendigoon, I don't dislike him. I do like his content, but sometimes he does annoy me a little bit. And I'm like, So there's that. I'm alive? Okay, cool. It's always a shame when the little YouTuber you supported becomes a part of the industry. I don't know. I don't mind it too much. That doesn't really bother me because, I mean, Markiplier did that. And I, like, Markiplier in Iron Lung is such a feel-good story because Mark really worked his ass off to get that movie to exist. And he worked so hard all the time. And he managed to basically fight his way into making that movie a reality. And now he says suddenly people are returning his phone calls. Suddenly people want to talk to him. And he's like, oh, now you want to talk to me. Now you're returning my phone calls. So I don't mind it that much. But I do feel like with somebody like Markiplier, he will always be Markiplier. He won't suddenly become Mr. Big Director. He's always just going to be Markiplier, which is cool, right? That's what you want. And that's what makes him likable, is he's not trying to be Mr. Big Movie Guy. He just wants to be Markiplier and make movies. I know Jacksepticeye went to the Backroom set. I saw that. It was pretty cool. I heard a lot of cast members were getting lost on set, which is hilarious and terrifying. I mean, if you get invited to the Backroom set and you don't get lost, I mean, are you doing it correctly? I would absolutely, if I was invited to the set, I would 100% like purposefully try and get lost on it. Mark made a foothold in the industry. He didn't become part of the industry as it currently is. I mean, that is true. I think it depends. I think it depends on the person, on whether that's annoying or not. Let me just check. Do I want to? Yes, if he's raising his hand, he does want to extend his fingers, because otherwise, why would he raise his hand, right? Okay, so I am going to do that. Is that leg too long? Yes, it is a little bit too long. The important thing is never go full Kevin Smith. Yeah, exactly. But also, like with Kevin Smith, I don't know. You know what it is? I watched a very, very good video. Let me actually check what its title is so I can promote it. There was a person who made a video about Tim Burton. And this person had such a good point. Where they pointed out Tim Burton's entire aesthetic is built around being a maverick, being an outcast, being like the weirdo. Tim Burton. How everything about Tim Burton's brand is like, here we go. It's called Tim Burton's World of Sad Boys. Oh, it's such a good video. Let me paste it. Go watch it after my stream. And this video pointed out Tim Burton's entire brand is, oh, he's a maverick, he's an outcast, he's a weird kid, you know. His movies are made for weirdos and outcasts. And then she points out Tim Burton went directly from animation college to working for Disney. Tim Burton's very first movie was Pee-wee's Big Adventure. He has never, ever, ever worked outside of the main movie industry. He has been part of the system since day one. The fact that he built his entire brand around being an outcast doesn't change the fact that he has been working within that system since like his 20s. And when this person pointed that out, it really kind of turned a light bulb on for me. Like the difference between actually working outside the system and working within the system, but marketing yourself as somebody who is, oh, this maverick of the system, right? And it's kind of one of those things where somebody really pointed out that the emperor has no clothes, and now I really, really can't unsee it. It's such a good video. Highly, highly recommend. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really good stuff. Oh, Kevin Smith, how I love Clerks, but all your other movies are eh. Apologies for the Andor reference. I've turned to Andor pill this week because I've learned there is a number of Star Wars fans willing to misinterpret the series for very dumb reasons. Oh yeah, I need to watch Andor. Still, it is on my list. It's just I haven't yet because why would I watch something modern Star Wars? But I have been convinced to watch it because literally everyone has told me no, it's really good, it's worth your time. But I have also heard a lot of people complain about it for like really weird reasons. Even as somebody who hasn't watched it, I'm like, that's a very strange complaint to have about a piece of media. It's very bizarre. Like the one main complaint that I know people give is like, oh, there's a scene that's really, really upsetting which involves assault. And I don't want to see that in Star Wars. And I'm like, oh, why is that the criteria? Why is it like, oh no, we can't have this type of story in this franchise? And my question is, well, why not? Like, I don't understand. Do you literally just want the same slop over and over? And the answer is yes, they do. That's the entire point of why they don't want like heavier topics in Star Wars. And I'm like, yes, but this is one show. It is one show that's interpreting a story in this one way. This isn't like a direction for the entire franchise to go through. It's a story. It's a story that's being told in a very certain way. Why is that a problem? So very, very strange. I've heard some very odd complaints. But again, I just tell myself that these are the same people who watched the finale of The Amazing Digital Circus and still said, no, there's no way that Jax is trans. And these people are out there, guys. I'm not going to use it because it hasn't aged very well, so you can't really say this on YouTube anymore. But I keep thinking of this moment from Spoonie's review of Final Fantasy X, which I don't agree with him on. I used to, but as I like re-watched people play Final Fantasy X, I'm like, you know what? This game is actually kind of good. Its story is actually kind of good. Just because Spoonie didn't like it, it doesn't mean it's bad. It's actually quite good. But Spoonie had this moment in his Final Fantasy X review that I think of a lot in terms of like people complaining about things for stupid reasons. Where Spoonie goes, there are people out there who are like this. Ladies and gentlemen, I implore you, find these people. Kill them. They're like voters. And That like line of dialogue is permanently etched into my head, but you can't say things like that anymore because these days people think when you say things like that you're being serious, whereas very, very obviously Spoonie is making a joke. So I won't use the clip itself, but it lives on in my mind. To be honest, I never thought Andor was overly awful or whatever. I thought it was just kind of boring. I didn't think it was awful, but I just felt like it didn't live up to the hype. I mean, that I can understand. And like I said, with the Backrooms, a lot of people complained that it was boring. And I really liked it. However, I would not argue against the people who said it was boring. Because I'd be like, yeah, no, I can see why you'd say that. It's like, yeah, no, I get it. I didn't find it boring myself, but I also understand why you did, kind of thing. I just want to see, because this leg of his is very strange. Okay, I see what's going on here. This leg is very, very odd, because it has a hole. It's got like a hole here, and I just want to see, how do these three pieces fit together to make the hole? And what I think it is I think this one goes here, and then this part comes here, and so the hole is here. And it's easier to see when this leg like twists, and then it almost looks like the hole that humans have in their forearm. It kind of has a similar idea, which is why I think this is here, is so you can twist this leg better. But it does make drawing it difficult. I miss Spoonie. Yeah, I miss Spoonie too. Who's Spoonie? How old are you, Diamond Lock Productions? That's not an insult. That's a legit question. I don't know whether you're serious or not, but you probably are. Spoonie was one of the original creators on the internet who made video content before YouTube existed. Like, YouTube kind of existed, but he wasn't posting his videos there. But it was back in the day, like, the Nostalgia Critic had just started. The Angry Video Game Nerd had been going for a year or so. And then Spoonie came, and Spoonie would review all kinds of things. And he's one of, like, the original video creators of the internet, and to this day his videos are really funny. There's some jokes which have aged badly because it was like 2008, so of course there were some things which are not super okay to say anymore, but at the time it was fine. But like his sense of humor and his timing of jokes, especially for how early this was in video creation, is really good. But unfortunately, and this isn't like private information, he said all this publicly, so I don't feel too bad saying this. He was diagnosed with bipolar 2 in, I think it was 2012. And he got diagnosed because his health went downhill very, very quickly, his mental health as well as his physical health. And ever since then, he hasn't really returned to video creation at all. And the belief is that he's just not in a mental space where he's like capable of putting out the video production that he used to. And he now spends a lot of time arguing on, well, he used to argue on Twitter, but he got banned from Twitter. And now he argues on Blue Sky. And I checked his Blue Sky a few months ago, and to this day, he's just doing a lot of like political arguments all the time. And that seems to be the only thing he's doing these days, where he's just always arguing and reblogging like political stuff like over and over again. And it's very sad because his content was really funny. He's legitimately a hilarious person. Okay, I just realized I might want to draw Rocky's ball as well, because his ball is going to really dictate how much panel I dedicate to it. Luckily, I can like it doesn't matter if the speech bubble is over the ball. It matters if the speech bubble is over the characters. It doesn't really matter if the speech bubble is over the ball. But I do just want to get it in here. Let's make it green, because I rarely use green as a sketch color. So that's a bit big. How big is his ball? I think his ball changes size depending on what they want to do with him in a shot. Okay, that's not the ball, that's the tunnel. Do I have reference for the ball? That's one thing I should actually get, is reference to the size of the ball. Okay, this isn't the ball either. This is the tunnel. I have so many references of him. Okay, that's him. Okay, is this the ball? No, that's him in the tunnel again. Where is your ball? Tunnel. I might just have to wing it. I think it's not like a hamster ball where he's quite small in a very large ball. I think the ball is actually pretty small in comparison to him. So I think it's about like that. I think. And I'll just go with that. It doesn't have to be perfect. These are like, this is what I do. I get like way too wrapped up in like details as to how accurate something is, when it's not really important how accurate it is. It's important, like, does it function what I need it to do in the comic? But at the same time, I get hung up on details like this. And hopefully people don't pay too close attention. However, you can see the ball's quite much bigger here than it is here, so now I have to make this one bigger. However, there are some things in the previous comic that really change shape and shift around and things in ways that don't make sense. And nobody called me out on it there, so it'll probably be okay. I love when people put grace in the ball. Yeah. So I've got the ball here. Let's draw Rocky again, because again, I can draw this Grace because he's really small here, so this is going to be a really small panel of him, because when I do the bigger panels and the close-ups of him, I really want to focus, because then I have to like think about expressions and like head angles and things. Because if you look at the previous comic here, okay, that's just that one. Let me close that. Ah, it's so good. The other comic, okay, not there. Not glitch here. And where is this the full one? No. Is this, here we go, this is the full one. Wait for that to load, jump back to YouTube. So you can see what I did in the comic here, that I needed to focus for. This is okay, but like here I have his head at a downward angle. And this is probably my favorite panel, but it's tricky to like try and figure out how the head shape looks at this angle. It's a little difficult. Here, this one isn't too bad. That was quite easy to figure out. But here, like the looking 3/4 up is a little tricky, because you have to account to how the jaw meets the neck. This panel I'm not too happy with. But it's also quite difficult because I put too much space between his eye and his ear here, which really bothers me, because it's not really a 3/4 and it's not quite profile. So this one I didn't do too good a job at. But things like that, like I really have to focus on what I'm doing and like what the angle of the head is. So I don't want to do that on stream here, because it's difficult to kind of focus on getting the expression right while also chatting to chat. I gotta say, going back to Project Hail Mary, I freaking love Rocky and his design. How low poly all his reactions look were just so cool. Rocky himself kinda tripped my arachnophobia. There's a really funny comic somebody made of Grace showing Rocky a spider on his laptop, and Rocky freaking the fuck out because it's like uncanny valley to him. He's like, that's so scary. What the fuck is that? It's really funny. Having just Googled the people who designed Rocky, I'm seeing one of them is Neil Scanlon. I'm curious how you'd compare the puppetry to 30 years ago in a film like Babe. Babe's puppetry is really good. Like Babe's puppetry, I haven't seen it in quite a while, but genuinely really, really well done. Was Babe the Jim Henson Company? Because I know that the live action Animal Farm was the Jim Henson Company, and that was using the Jim Henson puppets. But I was kind of confused the two, because I don't know if the live action Animal Farm used like leftovers from Babe. It seems like it might have, because it's also got like the collie dog and things, but I also might just be confusing it because they both take place on a farm and they came out around like a similar time. It's a shame to hear what happened to Spoonie though, especially with him becoming obsessed with politics. Seriously, politics feels like a toxin sometimes, most of the time. Yeah, I think also with him, it's just like, because he suffers from diabetes, not diabetes, no, bipolar 2, like his brain really fixated on that topic specifically, and that's just kind of a symptom of be like having that as a condition. That's also why that happened. It's like he just became fixated on that topic, and yeah, that's unfortunately just what he focuses on now, because his brain kind of hooked onto that topic specifically. But it has more to do with Spoonie than it has to do with like politics itself, you know what I mean? I agree, Diamond. Oh, Diamond has something to say. I wasn't really aware of those types of people during the very early years of content creation. I didn't really watch people, Nostalgia Critic or AVGN, during their early years either. Yeah, it was a very, very specific time. I did, because very much like today, I really like the discussion of media and movies and things like that. So of course, in the very late 2000s, people like the Nostalgia Critic and AVGN and Spoonie were literally the only people you could watch for that type of content. There was nobody else. So everybody watched those few content creators. That's also why they're so ubiquitous to that time frame. But Spoonie, I would still watch his old stuff. Like some of his videos on like the Ultima games is really, really good. But I don't know if I would go back and watch like Nostalgia Critic early content. I know I made a reference to one of his early videos in the Velma video where he screams about there actually being a funny joke. But in general, nah. Wait, Jim Henson made a puppet Animal Farm? I gotta look that up. I don't think they made it, but they were in charge of the puppetry. Let me just double check. Animal Farm live action, I suppose. Because I think it's like the only live action one. No, not 2025. Tell me why I type in Animal Farm live action and it still gives me the 2025-2026 movie that just came out. That's not what I'm looking for. Maybe Wikipedia can help me if I just... No, I don't have Wikipedia as an exact reference. Let's go here. Not this one. Where? Maybe I can search it. Animal Farm. Let's see what it gives me. That's the book. Characters, and there's a lot of stuff here because it's discussing the satire and the references to socialism and communism and Stalin, blah blah blah. Here we go. Animal Farm 1999. Directed by John Stevenson and written by Alan James, based on the novel, blah blah blah. Ensemble cast. Okay. Teleplay, directed by, starring, theme, composer, country of origins, producer, cinematography, editor, production company. Oh, it's a Hallmark thing. Interesting. So it's Lakeshore Entertainment and it's Hallmark Entertainment. You know what? That makes a lot of sense because this was probably around the same time Hallmark was making the Merlin TV miniseries, which is really good. If you guys have never watched the Merlin Hallmark series, please watch it. I think it's like 4 episodes or something. It is so good. It's got Sam Neill as Merlin. And it's so good. It's like one of my favorite, like, of that time TV shows. Like that in the 11th Kingdom. No, the 10th Kingdom. Not the 11th Kingdom. Which is also Hallmark. Like, just really, 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 really good stuff. Clearly, Andy Serkis is so good at bringing CG to life that search agents can't tell the difference. But yes, it's a Hallmark production. That makes sense because Hallmark made a lot of really cool live-action miniseries during this very small window of time during the late 90s and early 2000s. Merlin is one, 10th Kingdom is one. There's another one, but I can't remember what it is. And apparently they did the live-action Animal Farm as well. But I do know that the Jim Henson puppetry is used in that show because I saw their logo, I think, in the credits. I believe, if I remember correctly. And, you know, you see the Jim Henson Company in the credits and my ears perk up. It's just one of those things. In fact, a lot of the Creature Shop stuff done by Jim's death is hazy to me. I thought you were going to say lazy, but no, hazy to me. I just know they handled Ninja Turtles in the 1990 Witches, as in Roald Dahl's Witches. Yeah, they did a bunch of stuff. They did... What did they do recently, which I know... Oh, they did... They did the Five Nights at Freddy's movies. That's what I'm thinking of. They did the animatronics for Five Nights at Freddy's. which is kind of amazing. But yes. Oh, and they did the Dark Crystal TV show recently, which I still need to watch, but I've heard very good things about it. The Merlin miniseries, OMG, I've just rediscovered it. It's so good. Is it on YouTube? Because I know that the 10th Kingdom is on YouTube. Let me see. Hallmark Merlin. Yes, it is. Somebody uploaded it. And I'm not going to link it because I don't want YouTube to get angry with me, but here it is. Merlin 1998 miniseries, 3 hours long. It's on YouTube. You can look it up if you want because somebody uploaded it. So, was Dinotopia from Hallmark? Probably. Probably. I would guess so. I'm Googling a lot. It's actually it's basically time for me to say goodnight, but let's Google that quickly. And then I'll just finish up his face here and then we'll call it a night and I'll say hi to chat. Dinotopia. I wish Dinotopia became like a bigger thing because I've got one of the books and it's really, really, really cool. But I feel like it's something that you kind of need a bigger budget and focus on, and I feel like it never really got that. Dinotopia 2002. Here we go. Okay, this is gonna take me to the book series. I want the live action TV show. World Beneath, blah blah blah. Other books, television, TV series. Yes, it is Hallmark. You're right. The Dinotopia live action series is Hallmark. I don't know whether they did the animated version as well, but they did indeed do the live action one. Let's see here. Am I rotated? Yes, I am rotated. And I am on 4. Oh, I forgot his scar in the first panel. Hold on. So if I don't add it, I'm gonna forget it. Here we go. 10th Kingdom as a series that takes me back a good few years. The 10th Kingdom is really good. If you're like into, I want to say fantasy, but it's not even fantasy. Like modern fantasy? What would you call that? What would you classify the 10th Kingdom as specifically? Because it is fantasy, but it's like in modern day, but it's still fantasy. It's really, really, really good. If you haven't seen the 10th Kingdom, please watch it. It's really, really good. It's way better than it has any right to be. It does that thing where in some cases it's like super cheesy and it seems kind of bad, but then when the good stuff happens, it's so good. It's like actually incredible. Also, I think Wolf might be one of my favorite like live action leads for a show like that. I really like Wolf. Wolf is such a good character. Really, really, really excellent. Highly recommend it. And just like there are certain lines in that show which will stick with me forever. Really excellent. It was good to see one of your streams again. See you in a year when I'm house sitting again. Well, thanks for hanging out, Kevin. I'm glad I could entertain you. I mean, if we're busy out old obscure 90s live action shows, anyone remember VR Troopers? I have heard of VR Troopers. I never watched it myself, but I do know it was a thing. I'm just going to outline his body so he's not like a floating head. Then we'll start saying goodnight. Because I might want to look up a reference just for how to do this pose. His head is already too big, I can tell. Zoom out. Because what's happening is his shoulders would be here. Maybe if I just sketch it out. So he's holding on to this piece of the xenolite. He's using this leg to anchor himself. So it would be here because he's pressing against it. And he's using this leg to press against it like that. That's kind of the pose, and I just want to like double check whether that's correct, because this is actually quite an extreme pose. This is like something I would want to get reference for, but I think I'm going to call it there. I did get some of the comic done. Look at this shit. Okay, so this is page 1, right? So I've got page 1 is all of this. So that's page 1, and then hide that. This is page 2, so it continues here and keeps going. keeps going. This is page 3. It keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And this is page 4, which is kind of just half a page, but it's all of this as well. So this comic is gonna kill me, but that's what I'm working on at the moment, as well as the Amazing Digital Circus video. I've got all my character notes more or less done. I haven't written a lot of notes for Jax, but I kind of know what I want to say when it comes to Jax, so I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to waste time like writing down all those notes, or if I'll just go straight to writing his section of the script. I don't know, maybe I'll start with his section, because now that I'm using Obsidian, I don't need to write the script out linearly. I can write the script out in pieces and then just kind of arrange it properly in the order that I feel would flow the best from character to character. But I am thinking Jax at the end, just because he will have the most focus and I'll have the most to say about him, and Pomni probably at the start, because she is the audience insert character, so it would just be kind of weird to start, like I wouldn't start the video and immediately start talking about Zubul, right? That just seems kind of odd. And for Kane, I feel like Kane is also a character I would leave until like late into the video. Probably talk about Kane, then talk about Jax, I think. So that's kind of the structure I'm thinking of right now. I start with Pomni, then do a bunch of characters, and then kind of end with Kane, and then end with Jax. And then obviously you have like an ending conclusion to the video and what I think and etc. Blah blah blah. But that's what I'm thinking. So that's what I'm going to start writing. Oh, I bought myself a portable keyboard for my phone. So I can sit and type at my PC or my laptop, or if I want, I can actually go down to the beach and sit there and type while I'm outside. And I figured that would be quite cool, because then I'm not kind of locked in my room the whole time. I can get out and do stuff and get lunch and stuff, but I still have like access to my notes and my writing program, so I can just kind of sit and write anywhere. It doesn't have to be like at my desk. So that's one thing I did. We'll see how fruitful that is, but I just figured that would be a good idea. But anyway, I am going to start saying good night. We should have 2 streams next month, but I'll keep an eye on it. If we have 2 streams next month, you will probably see me not next week, maybe the week after that, depending on what happened. I'll look at my timing and like what I'm doing and stuff. Yeah, probably not next week, because I don't think I'll have that much to really talk about if there's just been a week between streams. I do like to like do stuff to have things to discuss. So I'll probably do it the weekend after next weekend. And yes, I think that will be me. To the usual mess, but chill. Yeah, that's pretty much my brand at this stage. Jontron did a review of a couple episodes of that. Oh, really? I would ask, like, what exactly? But I think you mean, like... Oh, dinosaurs, maybe. Is probably what you're talking about. Dinosaurs is also Jim Henson, I believe. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
You have received a new message.
Thank you, Amina. Here's to another successful stream. Hope you and everyone have a good week next week. Can't wait for the next stream. Thank you so much, Kevin. That's really, really kind of you. Yeah, I hope you guys have a good time. And I'll see you around. I'll keep working on this. I'll probably keep working on it after stream as well, and like tackle some of the more difficult panels like this one. Because the last comic took me a week to do both pages. And that was when I had nothing else to do and I could just focus on the comic, whereas now I'm writing the video as well. So heaven knows how long this has got to take me, but we'll see. I do this to myself. I don't do this to anyone else. I do this to myself. And the other thing is I have another picture in the works. I've done this sketch for it, which I want to animate. I've animated a comet in Blender, which I want to incorporate into that. And then I'm going to use TV Paint and animate the shadows in the illustration. And I might do that on stream, because it's basically what I do for my job with some projects. So it might be a little novel to show you guys like how I do shadows and stuff. But we won't finish the picture, because a scene like that usually takes me a day, maybe 2 days. So we'll probably only do a few hours of it, but that might be interesting. You guys might be into that. We'll see. We'll see. I'm still stuck on this comic though, so that's not going to be for a while. What do you mean? Do you mean to wish me a good night? Or do you mean that it is a good night whether I want it or not to be? Both. Next week is Canada Day, so I'm destined for burnout. Yeah. Oh, it's the 4th of July next weekend. It's a good thing you warned me about that because I would not have remembered. That is a good point. There's not going to be anybody online for the 4th. So yeah, we're not streaming next week. I'm going to stop the music and put the audio up, and I'm going to switch to the end screen, and I shall see you guys later. Where is my end screen? Here it is. Transition, and I'll see you guys next month. Not too long from now. Okay, bye guys. Bye. 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 You bye.